I'd like to talk to you about life interest trusts in the context of will planning. A life interest trust is an arrangement by which you can distinguish or differentiate the treatment of capital aspects of your assets and their income components. Now, it might not be obvious to you what represents capital in your estate and what represents income. But if we're going to give some examples, and perhaps the property that you have, residential property, bricks and mortar, that's the capital. Right of occupation is the income. Alternatively, a buy-to-let property, again, capital is bricks and mortar, but the income on this occasion would be the rent that you receive from the tenants. If you have investments, then the stocks and shares and the equity, that will be the capital, and the dividend that they produce will be the income. Cash in the bank is capital, interest on that cash is income. So why is this relevant? Well, being able to distinguish between capital and income means that you can provide protection around the ultimate value of the property to others. The value to you of an asset while you own it is its use, or its benefit to you. But the ability to be able to ring fence what you can pass down to somebody else can be really important within somebody's will planning. For example, if you wanted to protect an asset such as your main residence from being included in somebody's long-term care fee assessment, then you'd want this protection of capital to come into play on your death. So it ensures that that asset is free from any fees and is able to pass down to the next generation. You would also, however, want to provide the benefit of that asset to your husband or wife before they go into care. So this life interest trust allows the capital to be ring-fenced, but at the same time to be used by somebody else. So it splits the beneficiaries, essentially to the life tenant who gets to use the asset while they're alive, but then to the remainder man who gets to receive the asset when the life tenant passes. Life interest trusts are always a talking point when I speak to married couples. And the reason for this is many years ago, I had the scenario where a husband and wife had 3 children. The wife died, leaving everything to the husband, and the husband subsequently remarried and died, leaving everything to his second wife. His second wife had a will prepared that left everything to her friends and her neighbours. When she died, I had a call from the children of the first relationship, very upset, to say, so we're not going to receive anything from mum or dad. And I had to say, at the time of the lady's death, those assets belonged to her and she was free to leave them however she chose. She chose not to leave them to the children. Now, if the husband and wife, or the mum and dad in that scenario, had a conversation with me about life interest trusts and decided not to proceed on that basis, knowing the risks that they could be disinheriting their children, then that's absolutely fine. We've got no problem with that, nor should anybody else. But if they've gone ahead with straightforward gifts without realising the risk that their children could be disinherited by the interference or involvement of a third party, then that becomes a bit more of a problem and more difficult to take. The same applies, as I've mentioned, with long-term care. By protecting the capital from going over to the surviving spouse, you stop it from appearing in the long-term care fee assessments. So it's a really good strategy to providing protection but facilitating the use or the benefit of the surviving spouse. So if you do have concerns about future remarriage or future long-term care fees, a life interest trust within your will is definitely something that you should consider. If you think life interest trusts have a part to play in your planning, please get in touch.